Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, if you guys want to support my brand, Inspired by Dreams, you can check me out at inspiredbydreams.shop. And that's dreams with three Z's at the end. Okay. So we meet again. It's Wednesday, feeling good. My energy's up. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of things I've seen. Some things were new to me and some things I knew, just from recent in the past. So I got a couple things that I want to bring to you guys today. And I just want to know how you guys are doing today, man. How's your day going? And we getting through this week really good. Time is moving really fast. And as far as the weather is, it is freezing out here, really, really cold. So I'm hoping that everybody's all right, bundle up, get into that money, getting to work, and your mindset is right. Okay, let me just get things together, because I don't got everything together. And I'm trying to put it all together. Let me see. I got my little cranberry. Okay. Let's get it going. Shouts out to my guy, one of my brethrens, Corey. I was speaking to him on his live early this morning. Always up early, Just shouts out to all my peoples out there, all my friends, family. Good vibes, good energy to all of y'all. All my supporters. There's a lot going on in these YouTube streets, so we just gonna jump into it. Today I wanted to talk to you guys. The first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was I seen this going around. I seen this interview on Jim Jones. And Jimmy had a few words to say about, how he felt about Cameron in a particular interview in the past, where Cameron, he had an interview with 50 Cent. And I believe in this, good morning. Now, in this interview with Cam and 50, Cameron, I guess he asked 50, he always wanted to know, around the time when Jim Jones had, when they was going back and forth and Jim Jones had, I guess, performed with 50. He always wanted to know the energy of that whole situation. And within that conversation led to Jim Jones responding in a way where it's like, oh, we start to realize that these guys not really gelling well. And when it comes to friendship, that's one thing that they started with, but it might not be what they're ending with. And when I thought and I rewinded this whole thing back, when it comes down to the Dipset, Cameron, the Dipset, really a really established group and one of the best groups to hit hip hop. But when it comes down to the dynamics between their friendship, one time they left me disappointed was when that Locks versus battle, and I started to see just the brotherhood that the Locks had. The Dipset didn't really have that, even though you can be friends and you can grow up with people that have years together, but it's the dynamics between you guys. But that's not just it. When it comes down to New York, all these boroughs, we have different energies about us, and each borough has like a different way of how they go about things. If you guys are not from New York, I just want to give you a little taste of just the energy that goes on in Harlem. And this is nothing to it's just everybody grows up different. And in Harlem, things I would say as I'm gonna keep it all the way true for you guys, things are it's more materialistic driven in Harlem, because of the fact that Manhattan, the whole thing Manhattan, where the money's at, right there is where you get all the brands, you get all the jewelry, everything that you would think about is the luxury life in Manhattan. It's there. So they're right next to the money. So when they see things from their lens, they see it a lot different. Now, when it comes to the dynamics between friendships, it's hard when you have friends that, like, you guys are competing against each other, and this competition grows with you guys as the years go on. But you have to understand, within that friendship dynamic, you got to really understand that, sometimes that can go a little too left, like just competing with your own friends. You should always compete with the people outside and have your peoples as one. But that's something that I'm used to seeing, that type of, if you come out with this, I'm gonna come out with this. And it's always that back and forth. But not to say that was the main thing with this whole Dipset back and forth. But what I could see between their dynamic is it's almost like you have friends and then you have different friends that don't like, because Mace and Cam were friends in the beginning. It's not like everybody doesn't know each other. It's everybody knows each other, but it's just in the beginning, you know what it really boils down to? Hip hop just trying to break into the game, trying to make this money. We see a lot of people, their friendships don't ever last. And it's hard to get, it's not everybody could just be a group like the Locks where they have a brotherhood about themselves. And you know, when one eats, everybody eats. Sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes, and I'm not saying that it wasn't like they didn't all have opportunity, but just the dynamic within themselves of just, you know, the competition spirit of it is sometimes that pushes people away instead of brings people together when the competition is based on, you know, within your circle. So I feel like that dynamic came a part of it. And just the new dynamic between Cameron and Mason, their friendship, just the bond that they had before they just, you know, rekindling it and them getting back together. They're doing very well on the podcast, very successful. But Jimmy's gripes mostly come from saying that, you know, before this, he's saying that, you know, Mace treated Cam a certain way, and, you know, and now they're this, that, you know, but you have to also understand too, you got to look at it in a way where friends can, sometimes people can get over all of those things because they see the real bond that they had, and they see why they would rather this friendship than being in a friendship with others. So I don't know when it boils down to that, but it just sounded really, you know, and it kind of like, from one side it feels like, you know, like when J Hood with the Locks was beefing and he went over and he performed with somebody else and it felt like a form of disloyalty type of situation. They would try to make it seem like the way Cameron had, you know, kind of asked 50 about it, like he kind of felt that way about it. And then Jimmy's point of view is, you know, at that point he was on that label and that was going to be a light for him because he could have used that with promotion and to get himself in a. And then I hear a lot of talk on YouTube where people say, you know, people want you to do better, but just not better than them. And I don't know the dynamic between them that tight enough to know if that's the case. But if so, it's sad. But we all live and we learn through these situations with people. I see this, you know, like I never personally, just my take on it, I feel like the reason why that competition with your friends never work is because when you get older and you start to see how life really works and the people that you really want close to you, you start seeing other people's friendships, and especially with social media, there's not just bad things going on. There's a lot of people with great friendships. And when you see the dynamics of why their friendship has been so, you know, great and it's been so long, it's usually them building within each other or trying to help each other when things are down or being there for each other, not having competition about, you know, who's doing this better than who, because eventually after that, you know, somebody has to win that competition. And the one that usually takes a loss doesn't usually end up in too much of a well space with the other one. So usually the competition stuff, that's for younger ages, maybe in high school times. And after that, going on into college in your older years, you're not really in no competition with anybody but yourself. You want to better yourself and the people around you. So if you have friends around, as you rise, just bettering yourself will hopefully help them to look and want to better themselves. So that whole dynamic is sad between Jim and I hope they can, you know, piece it up, or maybe it's not even as like what can I say? Excuse me. I have the cough too. Maybe it's not even like a friendship breakup thing. Maybe they're used to being in this space separated. Maybe this space that they once kept within each other, they're used to, you know, saying what's up every now and then, or, you know, when there's something, when it has to do with money or business or with the Dipset, they all come together. But sometimes, you know, you just as a friend, you know, you go your certain ways. You know, it's not like the older you get, you don't hang out with your friends like how you used to. That's understandable. But the checkups and, you know, just maybe, I don't know, man, because some people say, you know, the older you if you want to include your friends, see this, the competition thing takes away from that part. because you want to see your people's rise. You want to see your people in whatever dreams they have. You want to see it being accomplished, because when their dreams are accomplished, it also adds on to the lineage of your friendships and the family around you. And people don't see it that way, because a lot of times money breaks people's friendship up too. I'm not gonna lie to you. Money breaks people's friendship up, and that's just being human. Like, let's just say, like, one of your friends won the lotto for like $4 billion or $5 million or whatever, and they just, you're thinking that, they will be on your side, or they'll do more for you, and now they're still on that competition pace. Now you're looking like, wow, you're gonna still compete after you still. So they still, you don't want to build that. Sometimes that competitive spirit is best held in places where there's more structure, and like sports and things like that. And because at this point in time, the whole competition, we can't compete with each other because we get used to fighting each other. We don't want to be in that realm. We want to be in the realm of, oh, if we're going to compete, let's compete as a whole against everybody that's against these agendas and these are the way we think, the way we, the things that we protect and value. Let us all fight to protect instead of fighting each other. That don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. And it just goes to show, like I said to you guys before, in hip hop, you see a lot of people, just dapping each other up, hugging each other. But at the end of the day, are they really friends? Are they the true friends? And sometimes we got to question ourselves about the people that we're around. Do we have what type of friends do you have? Do you have the type of friends that want to see you do well? Do you have the type of friends that they're just there for the moment, or when you're down, they happen to be the happiest when you're down, and when you're up, they're the saddest? What type of friends do you have? So the people you're around is going to say a lot about you. So I feel like that dynamic between Cam and Mace, it's a type of friendship that has nothing to do outside, with the Dipset and everything, or how things used to be. It's a type of friendship that they rekindle, and they are back working on a business as well as a personal, podcast. So I just feel like they can get that all together. Next thing I want to talk to you guys about, this whole Diddy legal, the Diddy thing. This is like this is an ongoing thing, and the new news is that I didn't come to you guys or speak to you guys about is Diddy. They're saying that, I guess it's the guy, the guy that was locked up and was telling all of the things about, how he slept with Cassie. Diddy made him sleep with Cassie, and he was saying it he was in prison, and he was that guy. I believe that they're saying that he submitted false evidence. So I don't know, this guy, like I told you guys, there's gonna be a lot of that, because we're seeing more now. Shouts out to Chopper for making it a band. I've seen a recent interview. I believe it's up to the second video. You guys got to check it out. It's on Art of Dialogue. And man, he had a different perspective of it. Just his point of view of being around Diddy. And his whole take on it was basically saying that, just being around Diddy, he knew a few things that he wanted to get out the way. Diddy did not like Tupac at all. So just mentioning Tupac around Diddy or anything to do with Tupac, I didn't know he had that strong hate for Tupac like that. But he said Diddy did not like Tupac. Just even saying that he was one of Chopper's favorites, Diddy didn't speak to him for days and days. So we see that he built up this type of steam. So he did not like Tupac at all, which is weird, but I can understand why. Now, another thing that he said that kind of struck me there was, he felt like he was also caught in like this sex trafficking, just because it's so easy if you're dealing with flying chicks out, and you guys might be getting along before and then after, and you maybe want to kick her out, or things just don't go your way, and then things turn for the worse, because now you get these allegations of people claiming things on you. He said he was a part of that, and he said just with Diddy, he knows that Diddy got caught most likely into that, but does he believe the whole 300 people and all that stuff? No. But he says Diddy's character, as far as the freaky stuff, yes, the man had a problem with his power. The man felt like, being that, sometimes people, being that their power doesn't reach, further in other cultures, they sit around in their own culture and they just start, making a mess of it. So Diddy's power, the way he treated people around him, he said that, all the freaky stuff, he can probably most likely see that type of thing happening. But, All of this display of what we thought Diddy was, I believe that would have been the person without all the drugs, without all of this build up steam for whatever happened in his past or whatever he had going on. And that's the point, the person that we don't know. But the person that we thought it was, I would have thought that he would have been more of a person where he seen Pac at a place where like he understood the talent levels of each of, even whether Pac was going against Biggie at the time or with friends at the time, he saw the talent level just because of the position he was in as an exec and, as a manager, he would see the talent in other people just if they were on his label. But he looked at it was like almost like an enemy. So now when you take that eye and take that look at it, it's telling to say that, now we know when we hear those stories about, how Diddy was in Manhattan in the studio while Big was there and Pac got robbed. Now we know that, though Diddy just being around him, he did not want to be around that guy. So whether Biggie had love for him or not, we always knew, now we know that he probably had tension. And with this industry, people have problems with you and they be scared to tell you or behind the scenes doing different things. And that's when a lot of this stuff goes really, really bad. And just my personal take between, I can't tell you who to like or who not to like, but Pac was a very lovable person because when you really realize the ages of Biggie and Pac, their passing and everything, you start to realize that these were just some young guys trying to make their way, and through this fiction, the fire was the fame. And that fame led these two people to kind of lose sense in who they are on both sides, Tupac and Biggie, because Biggie was blinded by the fame, not sticking to his original roots and rules and the street smarts that he once knew from Brooklyn, New York, especially being West Indian and his mother's values. And that kind of lost sense between the money that was, that was dealing with such a, a big record label. And that made him lose sense of, should I go out there, fly out there? Or he might have lost sense of not just believing in Diddy and not being able to see that all of this stuff was going to most likely happen. It's hard you can't read the future, but you can definitely read people and know when your energy is not wanted in the room. Now, when it comes to Pac, same thing. Tupac, his energy of just being family with everybody is one of the biggest downfalls you can be as a good person. Just being a good person in general and thinking that everybody loves you and everybody's your family and you can go anywhere and do whatever you want with so-and-so, that's not the way to move around. Because there's many of times I've heard, Pac, he explained towards his, his last days, Pac would explain certain things like, the people, the people around you talking about, just giving a display of people's character that was around and just other places. You started talking more on character than speaking more on environment. So you started getting to the individuals and start to realize that, even though if you speak for the whole, you got to know that even your good energy, even your wanting to become and come together, it hurts people that's hurt already. So those people that's hurt, they don't want to see people to come together because they can't find themselves in that space. They feel like the hurt that they already have, they want to use that hurt and hurt somebody else. So just coming together, they might feel like they're gonna lose that strength that they feel like that hurt provides for them. It sucks, but that's the action. That is the reality of just the street temperature, and that's the reality of people that's hurt. And I feel like that's the side of Pac that blinded him, just thinking that, that celebrity, that person, that power that he felt he had, he can do anything to anybody. And at the same time, if you really think about it, these two guys didn't realize who was looking down on them or looking at their careers. They was just living in the moment. But as the moment was going, people were looking in and they were seeing these flaws, places where like just for example, if you have and a lot of these record labels in those times, everybody wanted to be family. You hear this family, that family, but to just look at family the way they say it, like just a crew. They don't mean the actual family dynamics of staying together and being respectful with one another. They just mean this is the family that we're making business and money with. So look at it like that. Now, in those times when you're dealing with Bad Boy and you're dealing with this whole death row back and forth beef, when we really think about it, the artist was so young that it really, to stop that, it would have taken the execs. It would have taken older heads to come in and say, you know what, but being the money got in the way, the money will make a person turn their head and let it go on. And that's what led to this. So that whole, you know, I don't know. I don't know if lying in the Diddy case or the evidence, I don't know if that's substantial enough to, you know, I know he's gonna do, you know, I don't know if he's, I don't think he's gonna do like the 20 to life and all of that, because it doesn't have, this doesn't really involve murder unless you have evidence as far as that Keefe D case or whatever. And I don't think that that's enough evidence to involve a man and say that he, you know, he murdered somebody or had something to do with that. I don't know. But what I do know is that when it comes down to what they have him for, it looks like it's going to be within 15, 10 years, something like that. And it's not looking good. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, you guys remember, and this is one thing I, you know, when you own a business, that's why I always tell you guys, you know, don't be so quick. You know, in our culture, ownership of businesses is look different than, you gotta be, you know, and I'm just gonna keep it 100 with us. Like, we gotta more value us. If we wanna open up and do these things and help each other, we gotta be real truthful with it. And because just opening up businesses all over the place doesn't mean it's gonna be successful. Opening the business, that's just one point of success. But being successful at whatever you're doing within the business, that's gonna keep your longevity. That's gonna, your legacy. And that's the part that we're missing in the culture, that some people are embarrassed to say it, but we just can't find the terms within each other to see that our own brothers and sisters do just as good or even better than us. It's sad. But T.I. and Tiny, they won the settlement before, and we heard that it was like $71 million. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the first thing I thought was Soul Plane. If you guys like that movie, I really do. I thought it was a funny movie. In Soul Plane, just him winning that, the judge just grant him that, you know, enormous amount of money, you know, you feel good for people. But, and in my head, I'm like 71 million. And now when I read it, you know, they was taken away. I think it went down to 53 million or something. And finally it ended up to be 17 point something million. But in my head, I said this, you know, the more we go up, the more that everything else goes up too. And you have to be very aware. So just take it from what it is, because I was behind them so much, because I understand what it is when people steal from your brand, they steal from you, and it's not a good feeling, and people make profits off of it, and they don't even have heart into the brand. It's not like the brand is going to take off and live a lifetime. No, it usually lasts 1 or 2 years, and they put themselves in a place where they don't even want to stay in anymore. So I'm always behind any entrepreneur that's coming up with original things and just coming up with, and when I see these other places like just trying to steal ideas and things like that, I'm always with the person that came up with the original idea. And that's in any genre, anywhere, any parts of life, I'm always gonna be on the side of the people, the original. So yeah, man, at least they got 17 out of it, but it just goes to show, man, it's not easy out there. When it comes down, you can't look at the money, you just have to look at the accomplishment. In that, I see the accomplishment being that, yeah, they fought for something that, because people was trying to steal, you know, because they can take that and turn it into anything, like trolls, and put another name, and their ideas, the motion that they have with that will be wiped away. And people will act like, you know, they made it up. That's the reason why when these black cultures and anything to do with like just relationships and anything like that pops up, that's why these debates and these conversations really go on that long. If you guys want to check it out, I kind of cleaned up the channel a little bit. So I have all the culture-driven stuff, all the conversations that we've been having. I lined it up a little better and a little easier for you guys to join back those conversations, and I still answer questions that's, you know, about them. But yeah, man, you know, so we gotta watch the things that's going on right now, because it seems like as we fight to try these things that we want in these certain circumstances, these people are our own people fighting us. You gotta know that. You gotta know that about these times. That's what's going on, you know. I'm hearing Jay-Z, the legal allegations with Roc Nation. They're saying that his attorney, Jay-Z's attorney, was accused of, you know, I don't know, what's accused of I guess bribing people to, you know, this whole thing with Jay, I think they need to really, really get off of it. It ain't even worth it. It is not even worth it. Okay, so you say that, hold on, let me see. You're 100% certain that Diddy is innocent and he will be freed from jail soon. I'm his new artist and I signed with Bad Boy before his arrest and I've never saw him do anything inappropriate. Okay, okay, so let's unpack that a little bit. So okay, so number one, congratulations. You said you're his artist. Congratulations. Let me see, what's your name? Bubba Chevy. Congratulations, Bubba Chevy, for being his artist. That's a accomplishment within itself. If that's true, I'll take it. I'll most likely I go for the truth first, and if anything, But with you saying that, now when you say Diddy is innocent, innocent for what? Because we don't really like what. Okay. I could understand that the evidence that we are seeing, if you take out the Cassie, can be shaky, but you have to also understand this part of it too. America is scared of rich criminals. If you have money and you're doing crime, within that establishment, everything crumbles. Now, when it comes to Diddy, we know that he does have evidence of the sex trafficking, which holds time within itself. We don't know who's talking behind the scenes because somebody's saying something, and the feds also have video. Now, we might have not seen video of what's been going on in these freak-offs, but to say that he's innocent, I don't know. I think they have enough that they're holding to prove the innocence thing completely out. Now, if to hold him for a certain amount of years, that comes with more crime. And I think that's the part that gets shaky. But I wouldn't just say automatically innocent. Now, as far as you and your career when it comes down to Bad Boy, one thing I would want to ask you. Now, you as an artist know the legacy of Bad Boy up to this point, the things you might have been hearing. Just because you're new to it, you might not get treated like that. You might get treated on a stance where they trying to clean up their image. So by the time you're coming in the cleanup image stages, and you probably will get treated the best, which is how everybody was supposed to be treated in the first place. But don't go about it. I'm just giving you from my point of view because I know a lot of people on Bad Boy. I know I've been to the parties in the Hampton, and I've never seen any of this. This is how tricky life works. Don't be the artist that stands up for a person that you don't really know. And I know you just want to get your career going and your music going, but you also have to stand up for yourself within saying that, you got to also protect your energy and your music. You don't really know what's going on. Because sometimes you want to do right with the people that put you on, but at the same point, you can't take on all of their mess and just put it on your back. Because we've seen that happen time and time again. Look at Shine. Look what Shine did. Now, Shine is in there trying to defend Diddy because he feel like Diddy gave him an opportunity. Meanwhile, he was put in a position of, I'm going to still use my power this guy is going to get this for me. One thing in that always struck me, Shine at the time had sounded like Biggie Smalls, and I never understood at a man that you say that you loved and passed so soon, and within that, how could you pick somebody or sign somebody else that had even the same type of tone? Would have gave me a little chills to myself to say, you know what, I'm cool on that. Right now, I'm still mourning my boy Big, and I don't really want to go nowhere near that. That right there alone. So just knowing that he has a selfishness that we can prove that Diddy does have a selfishness about him. You saying that doesn't say anything substantial about your career. You have to know that if you're gonna go in that establishment, do the best thing you can do is maybe use the brand and get your music out there. But you do not want to be painted for a man that took advantage of women, that allegedly took advantage of people and drugged them, because you never know how life works. So don't just say it like he's just an innocent man. We do know that he did something. And that's the reason why we speak like this. I wouldn't go out there and speak on somebody of that stature of mogul in hip hop unless they had something to do with something like this, sexual allegations, crimes, overpowering of his stuff. That's the reason why he got himself here. So don't back these guys. Just do what you got to do. I'll even support you, even if you leave a comment down below. I'll check your music out and I'll still support you whether you're on his label or not, because you are you. You as an artist take control of your vibe and your energy. Don't let nobody label, because when you do that, you take on everything that label came. Just once you're in these times, this is the time to just jump out there and be yourself. Forget all these people labels, because all their labels got bad auras around it, and all the people that they stole from in the past that didn't deserve it. I was sometimes people think that fame is everything, but being rich and famous is one thing, but if you don't have the riches behind the fame, just being famous like that can be very dangerous in these times. Not only in these times, but just in that business. Because you want to keep a look of yourself, and because you want people to bring that energy towards you. You want people to say, look at me, I got something I think you guys will want to be interested in. But when you look at the makeup of it, when you put yourself out there like that, people already see an image that comes with that when you're behind the brand already that had a legacy already. So be very careful of where you sign and what these people you sign into, because just because they might look like they're doing good for themselves doesn't necessarily mean that can turn over and it can be your life. Sometimes living the life that's not so famous, you get a better, long, loving life than these people that's jumping in front of the camera with nothing possibly to do. Because when you put yourself in front of the world, remember, the world, everybody has different ways of thinking, different mindsets, and everybody has family and everybody has feelings. So when that all boils to steam and everything boils down and the fingers pointed at you, you have to remember that you're going to have to stand there and be accountable for all the things you did to these people and all the bad things you might have thought that was going to be hidden. Yeah, it's on camera now, and now you have to face this person and you lose yourself within there. I don't even think he knows who he is right now in that prison. I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm hearing that he's throwing, he's throwing like temper tantrums because I guess the guy that shot, the guy that he shot the guy from the healthcare, and you know that guy. He's in the same detention place as him. So I'm hearing that there's like a power struggle in there, being that people are paying more attention to him. That he's throwing a temper tantrum. This is the type of stuff that your life has decreased to. You're worrying about the next man and how the energy that he's getting over the wrong that he did, and you're not concentrating on the reason why you're in this cell right now. So you could just tell the mindset of the person you think he is might not be the person you think he is. But I still give you the blessings, and I give you my utmost respect. You keep doing your music. But as an artist, you have to know in these times, trust me, I did music in the past. I write poetry and I do a lot of writing in my lifetime. It's one thing I realized out of all of this, that is the poison, and it's the fame. Stay away from that point of it. Stay away from attracting the wrong people to whatever you're doing. Whether I see a lot of people, they have these products or they want to sell something online, but they're attracting all the wrong people. They're attracting everybody that wants to step on them or get in front of them. You got to attract the people that believe in your story and you. Because no matter if you sell them something today, tomorrow, if they don't know your story, they don't know who you are. Time travels fast, and it's going even faster. And we have to realize we have to slow down to build connection instead of speeding up and losing it and just grabbing whatever money that hits you in the face. I always tell you guys, money ain't everything. Watch it prove itself as these days go on, and we'll see that the things that we really need are the people around us. All these people, they have, look, if you look at them, it's good to make some money and have your money continue going on so you can keep away some of this stress that you might think is everything. But you also got to look at the people with it all, and they're still striving to get more. What are they striving for? Are they striving to make more content or whatever they did to get their money, or are they just striving for the dollar sign? It's the dollar sign. They're looking for more of the dollar sign, because whatever they amounted their life up to be at this point, they have to sustain it. Your life and my life is already sustained because of the way we took pace to get where we are. We took paces to get here. So we won't want to step back or go forward. Everything that we do is an add-on. So everything you add on into your life, you have to be accountable for. If you add on bad energy to your life, yeah, you're going to be accountable for the person that's going to bring that bad energy back to you. That's how it works. if you add in something good into your life, you start to see your life start to develop in a way where you never thought it would. You might fall in love with something else you want to do. You see how life goes. Life is not, it's not all about, it's the connection, the love and everything is what makes things, you know, there's people that's together right now that don't even know they're in a relationship. They love each other, they don't want to claim each other. And it's because how people picture what love is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be this way. You can't run to social media and paint this picture. The picture has to be painted before you reach here. So stay away from, and I'm not saying, you know, when it comes to Bad Boy, there are some people that came out with some good deals and they had good recognition after it. People have developed their styles, like as far as like, look at the Locks. The Locks came, they was on Bad Boy and they took a point because you know why the Locks will always be successful in my eyes and my heart? Because they're brotherhood. Back to that brotherhood. You can't separate those guys. Even if you say, oh, well, Sheik Luch is the best. Yeah, Jadakiss is nice too. Styles P is nice too. It doesn't matter which one you pick because they still feel the love for the group. That's the difference. When I seen those guys get up on that stage and they went against Dipset, and I seen how just everything was going, it's like the songs that I have, and I know Dipset could give a better fight than that. I know they can, and y'all know they can too. But when I seen it, I said, nah, man, the connection is everything. The connection is bigger than the music. The music that you guys put out, yeah, it might have seemed that everybody was cheering, but a lot of those guys was cheering because there was so many of you guys, and they saw each of themselves in you guys, in every separate one. You might think that it might be just for Cameron, but somebody might be looking at Jewel's like, nah, he the young one of the group. That's like I'm the young one in my crew, and that's relatable. The only biggest group to pull that off, besides the Locks, is Wu-Tang. That's what makes it so special. It's not about how much money you make. It's about the love that you have for each other, and people buy into that. They buy into that. And that's hard to, you know, it's a lot of, that's why, you know, it's very, and when it comes down to the streets and being street smart, there's a lot of gangs out here that's breaking up, just not as far as like the cops coming in, but just as far as the friendship between each other. You have to have some form of friendship if you're going to consider yourself in a gang and put your life in front of somebody else's, or to save somebody else that you hardly don't even know, that's not a friend to you. You got to be out of your mind. When you out there and you on your hustle and bustle, you know, and when the times get dark and you out there by yourself and you gotta fend for yourself, you gotta see the people that's gonna have your back. Not the person just telling you what is going to be in the future and this is how. Those are the people their trajectory is not. It's false. It's not. You have to be around. No matter if you're doing bad or you're doing good, you got to be around people that love you. If you're not around people that love you, you in trouble. So when times go wrong, you might find yourself out there and you might find yourself in front of your op, like you just there, like, and it's going down. That's just how life works. So. You know, I mean, come on, man. I see you see time and time again in hip hop, when it comes, you can't treat your peoples right. And I'm not saying this has nothing to do, I'm not going back to the gym and Cam stuff. I'm just saying when it comes down to coming up with something, like, you know, sometimes the rapper doesn't see that the people cheering behind them, they're the ones that hold that rapper up. So when you do make it, don't just push people away or make it a competition between your friends, man. You gotta always look at your peoples and say, you know what, what you got going? I'm gonna bring you up too. I know you guys got dreams too. Come on now. Oh, you rap, now you rapping now. And build with people. You'll see a better life, a better circle, and it'll be more comfortable to be around people, because you're dealing with people. Sometimes some of these crews, there's no trust in there. So you got to watch your back while you're around these people. Any one false move and they're all in jail. It makes no sense. And another thing for the youth, I'm not saying don't get the jewelry, don't get all of that stuff, but listen to me like this. If people don't see you grow, don't just jump in the light with all of that stuff. Let people grow into you earning that stuff, so people could have a better understanding of you. When you're out there, people will say, you know what, nah, they might skip past you and rob the next guy. You never know. Life works that way. It's all about who you are at the end of the day. Now, if you're this flossy guy, or you feel like the world is yours and you can do whatever you want and walk around like a bully, you know, you're driving $1 million cars, you're not even talking to your own people. You're just driving by just to honk the horn. well, that type of person might get astray or something might happen to them, because that's just how the human experience is when you're coming from these places where, you know, struggle is at an all-time high. You got one or two guys that make it out, and now they look back and they want the only bit of energy that they could have is their people, because nobody else know them. You don't know what other people have in their bank account. Not everybody wears their money. It's just absolutely crazy, you know. So when you look at it like that, you start to realize that, you know, just who you are as a person, it does give you more life. You do get more life out of that than a person that's just out there doing whatever, because your life living that random cycle, you never know what's next for you. You never know what's coming to you, or you never know who's talking about you behind your back. I don't have to worry about that, because if somebody's talking about me and they claim to be a friend or they don't know me, then it's none of my business. I'm always going to be the same person I was. Why would I jump into whatever they say I am and try to become that? Maybe then I probably turn into whatever they say I was. Got no time for that. I just go right past you. It's a quick skip to all of this stuff. It's a quick skip. It's not even, it's less than 5 seconds to leave your energy on something like that. I heard another thing too. Shouts out to Nicki Minaj. But this is one thing I wanted to say about this. I heard, you know, she's going through something where I guess her former manager, he's claiming that she hit him and had threats and all of that energy. Look, it's just the same thing. I would say, being the people that you're around. Like, people, if you're around people that, and I don't know how it works, you know, as far as like, because I heard something had to do with, he disclosed, like, had to go get some medication, got somebody else to get the medication. And she's like, why would you do that? Get somebody else, you know, on personal information. I trust you. And then it went back and forth and something happened. I guess hands are put on allegedly. And I don't know, man, but it just turned into this, taking a turn into like going into a lawsuit. And in these times, like I always tell you, you know, lawsuits are, it's lawsuits, people are just running for them things like it's loud or like a scratch off. But you never know who's right or wrong in the situation. I don't know if it's an overpower of Nicki Minaj. Maybe she was angry and maybe took it a little too far. Or maybe they just had like a friction where it led up to this. You never ever know. You never ever know. So I'm just hoping everything is going, probably going, you know, cool over there. But within it all, for Nicki, I would say, you know, just, you know what's worth going all the way off the edge for and what's not. And sometimes, you know, you gotta really protect your it's not about, that's about, it all boils down to this fame and this money. It goes back to, it's not really about that. It's about you feeling comfortable to be you around the people that you consider to trust. And you just gotta take a second look on that. I'm hearing on the and look all these cases, YNW Melly case. You know how many cases in the past? It's crazy. I don't know. His investigation, they're alleging witness tampering. So you guys, that means that, you know, I guess they don't have anything else but to try to go outside of the people that says they're a witness or whatever that's going on with his situation. And they're probably trying to pay people off, or they could try to be scaring people. One of the two, that's what witness tampering usually consists of. And that's not really looking good. I didn't think the YMW Melly, I didn't think he would ever like get out or anything. You know, when people don't understand, when you're dealing with murder, people will throw you away. They'll lock you up and throw away the key. They'll lock you up and throw away the key. And by the time, even if you didn't do it, when you have those type of things, it's hard to beat. So it's like, I don't know. I seen this on did you guys hear about I thought this was over with, but it's apparently not. Tasha K and Cardi B. So Tasha K, I like them both, to be honest with you. Sometimes you just gotta find peace within yourself. I don't really have no bad feelings towards anybody, content creators or just artists out there, to be in general. You'll have to really, really, really do something that's personal to me, maybe my family, for me to really stick to me saying, oh, I feel some type of way. I don't know. Sometimes I just forget about it. It doesn't really, I don't know, it never sticks to the wall of my creativity, because I just have so many other things going that I just don't really think about the people that I feel like, you know, are doing wrong out there. On both sides, I've seen Tasha K make great videos, and I'm pretty sure Cardi B probably looked in at a point before all of this went on with her and seen, what Tasha K was doing. No different than, what we're doing. Tasha K works very hard, but she's saying with that lawsuit that I guess it's 3 point something million, which is crazy. That's a lot of money to be having just to fork over to somebody, but she hasn't got paid, and Cardi's team is not playing. Cardi said that she was hiding money in different places. So that's just like you don't want to get into this. It's like a back and forth. I just hope they could work all of that out and maybe come to some kind of conclusion where they can maybe, I thought they were working out payments or something like that, but I don't know, man. Paying that amount of money is definitely, we all know as human beings, that's detrimental. I mean, even people with millions of dollars don't really on an everyday basis just give away 3 point something million, but what can I tell you? What else? Yeah, oh, you know what? Shouts out to Drake. They said he remains the best-selling rapper despite his beef with the Kendrick Lamar. Well, yeah, why wouldn't, people are not stupid. It's obvious. I still, like I told you guys on the last live, I still bang Drake's music. I still bang Kendrick's music. I just don't bang the music people have this whole back and forth thing about. I bang the cuts that I like, and I just feel like Drake he's a very special artist. He's one of those artists. I think he's the most, when it comes down to MCs and artists, I think he made the most hits as an artist. He definitely made the most hits because in our time, hits weren't really the first thing that drove people to make sales. I don't know if you guys will understand that. In our time, a lot of us, the stuff you hear on the radio, most of the cuts that we really like would be stuffed in the album because we were so used to getting bodies of work. Somebody said, it's hard to beat white people. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's not really about beating white people. There's a lot of good in white people that, that I feel like, let me tell you something about us humans, black and white culture. Let me just tell y'all something. Black people love white people and white people love black people. It's just the evil people in between make things that much difficult. It seems like social media can make people feel like the world is going just driven to divide. Whereas if you live a life of peace and you have a life of good people around you, you can make the world seem for yourself as the most peaceful and loving place. There's a lot of things that us black people, we love from white people. That's what people don't understand. Let's talk about it. So white people, they have this sense of the value. I feel like just the all white wearing stuff and that stuff, it gives a sense of, like that cleanliness. So we do look up to that, and we do like when you see those big brands out there, they set their value, and it's almost because they had it first, that's achievable, and that's like almost a point that we look, okay, when we get there, we're gonna do this. And then white people love black people because we take nothing and make it into something. And when we value something, it goes out the roof. And it's almost this, we have this vibe about us, no matter what culture of black we are in, that we bring to the table that it can't be duplicated. So we have to find the terms and the things that we have similar and the things that will make us. Now, all the other stuff as far as fighting, as far as their religion differences, culture differences and things like that, all of that is breeded from evil people. You must understand that. Even fighting, going back and forth, who's right on this topic, who's right, it's all breeded from evil people. All of these people that people speak on, these names, but that did evil things in the past, like the Hitlers and the Bin Ladens and all these people that did harm to people's cultures and things like that, these were all evil people that were misguided by the leaders or who they thought were leaders. So they took that and that narcissism within themselves, they try to become something that they wasn't. And that's the reason why these types of situations happen. It's the way we live and it's the world that we're living in. So we have to realize that the people that we come together with, the people that we see things and want to learn more from, we love each other. It's not, don't let people paint this picture like everybody hate each other. It's not that. That's why the reason why, if you guys want to really tap into some culture or somebody else's culture and find out why people think the way they think, the first thing you start with, like I told you the other day on the live, get a plate of food that you like, Start reading into their history and see the growth of where they were then till now, and you see their fights, and you'll start understanding why people think the way they think, and you won't judge people so quickly to say, oh, you don't like this person because this and that. No, there's probably a story behind that that led up to this point that makes people think the way they do. So there's healing, there's truth, there's wisdom in that. There's a lot in that that you can unpack for yourself, and within other people's culture you can add to yourself and better your culture and you as a person. I'm telling you, man. It's, and like, for example, in the West Indies, when I say West Indies, I mean, I guess that might sound old school to you guys, but that means the Caribbean. We have a lot of doctors that come out of there. It's just the discipline. It's the discipline that your environment structures around you that makes you push on. If you have no discipline around you, a lot of the youth and the people coming up, they don't have nothing to look forward to or look up to, then that discipline is always going to be tackled with, oh, I just want to get money. Yeah, the reason why you just want to get money is because you haven't found who you are as a person, and you don't know how your capabilities and how far you can take it. Once somebody tell you you can do this, you can do that, and make this and that, of course you're going to go your hardest. But that's for you to find out. That's for nobody else to find out but yourself. Some people find it in their early stages, and some people find it in their later stages. For me, I feel like it's best found in the later stages, because in your earlier stages, you want to enjoy your fun, you want to take your risk, but you want to buckle down when you get up to your later stages to know what is more on point of what you're doing with your life. And that's the difference. Another thing, I wanted to bring something else I wanted to talk to you guys about. Hold on. I put a section up. It's on parenting and relationships. I have a video coming that I'm going to add to that playlist. But I have these new playlists, and I'm putting them in these pockets so where you guys have it's an easy way to conversate until YouTube switches up this, just the way it, I hope YouTube can give like these different conversations, these different videos, a way we can section them off a little better, where it's more easy to find when you're on the page, kind of like a Netflix in a way. But so far I have everything on these playlists, and like when you see these relationships nowadays, I see for 2025, the true relationships that will last the longest are going to be the people that take the time out to learn each other and take the time out to say, we're not in a relationship, let's learn each other, let's do these things that we both like doing, build with that, and within that, we're going to find our love within each other. I think don't look at social media for the love that's artificial, that looks like these two people match, because that is going to be the trickiest thing. Everybody wants to be happy, understandable, but not everybody's happy. I would give it, if it was from 1 to 10, I would say we on like a 40%. There's a lot of mental health. Not everybody's happy. Sometimes the people with the biggest smiles are the ones going through the most problems. And guys like myself, when I know and see things like that, I treat them different. I treat them with a different type of understanding, knowing that even if you're smiling, I'm still going to help you out, and I'm still going to throw you something so that smile can be official instead of artificial. You understand? So that's the reason why I'm here for these, for just our people. I try to do the best I can do. Now, when as far as me and myself and how I'm feeling in these times, I see, like, look at the president. All of the, they got him the feds is after him. But now, let me tell you what it's looking like. It's not about our skin color. It's a classism thing, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. The world, America, any criminals with millions and millions of dollars, no matter if you didn't get the money through your crimes. You could just do criminal acts making money off of selling paper. You are a target. That's the reason why if you don't put your money into places where it benefits you, your family, or people that you have whatever you have going on, then you're going to be most likely putting that money in the hands of people that can harm people or do things outside of the things that you got you there. And that's what they're afraid of. They're not afraid of everybody making this money. At first, it was a little shaky. The younger people were making a lot of money. But once we've seen the job market could be replaced with technology, meaning the workers could be replaced with technology and they don't need as many workers, now it kind of balanced the scale. And if you really think about it, the greediest people are going to want that route. They don't want to pay people. When you hear minimum wage going up in this, they don't really want to pay it. Let's be serious. They don't really want to pay the workers. So if they have a way where they can cut workers and make technology and then still have the same customers coming in, oh, that's a win-win for them. Now they see, that's the wicked and the greed mindset. Now, a person that had heart for our people will most likely say, you know what? Being that AI and technology is taking over workers, when I put them in this position, let me find something else where I can connect with people and get other workers to make money through this. Now I have a bigger stream of helping other people get more money instead of just saying myself. I'm good with what I was making, but now I have a stream of more income coming in. Let me help these other people make some income for whatever they got going on. That's the way you're supposed to have your mindset. Not looking over. See, and it's sad because when you come from environments and you come from these places where, you know, it's always take. I gotta get this, I gotta get that. You are so lost. There's people that start on that. You have to understand that the accomplishments, the little Rolexes in the hood and the jewelry around the neck, you have to look beyond that and know that you was tricked when you put that stuff on. The view and the people that will attract, it's only a minority. You want to get past that and get in front of that and say, you know what, I skipped past that, and now look at the mindset I'm traveling with. I don't need none of that stuff to highlight who I am as a person. Those things have a dollar sign attached to them. You as a person don't have that. When you hear these people and they don't want to jump to the religions because they already did so many sins that they feel like attaching themselves to religion is going to be harmful to them. But the truth is, the more you attach yourself to a religion, the more you see who you really are, and you know what you're doing, if it's going to be prosperous for the next person. It's about connecting with people. That's what it's all about. It's social media, not to down people every day and tell people what they're not supposed to be doing or tell people the wrongs. You have to build people up, lift people up. It's connection, communication. A lot of these people, they spend their hard-earned money and all their time with the wrong people. Talking about they got something that they want to build with somebody, and they give the money to somebody that it's going to run off with it, and that's not even their dream. So their money gets scattered around people that don't even care for them. And then they look back and see the real people that was behind them the whole time and wonder why those people look at you the way they do. The reason why they look at you, because you changed on them. When they say money could change you, you was the first one ready to change. You was ready for the change. Because you guys are probably competing against each other, and one don't like this one, or so-and-so is dating somebody's ex, this and that, and all of that nonsense is what led your mindset to think like that. But when you look at our people as a whole, and our people just as the culture, you don't want to see your own people hurt or lost or misguided. You got to know better than that. You got to know that all of this materialistic mindset thinking is the only thing that's going to leave you lost. That's just the facts. Yeah, somebody's always going to have more money than you. So what? That's how life works. You're not going to have the most money. Who cares about that? What about the most love, the most people around you can trust? Those will put you in a place where you'll never have to worry about money again. You hear me? There's people out here, they want your energy, they want your vibe, they want your circle, but you can only duplicate this. You can't duplicate what's inside of you. And that's why I would never worry about what's outside of me. It's always about what's inside. Take a look at it. Let's put a little rewind back. And you know, I like to put it, I like to bring it 360 and let it form this circle. So now we see that Remy and Easy the Block Captain is a thing. So now when we rewind, all of this guessing and people saying it didn't happen, this and that, those two people fell in love. The only reason why it's a thing now, and it's because there was a kid involved, you know, they were married, and you look at these two, just as human beings, we look and say, you know what, I see what happens. When you don't know a person or you don't form this connection that's unbreakable, then these type of things can happen. You leave that door cracked at your home. Don't do that for anybody. You have to really love a person from their head to their toes, no matter what. It can't just be the sex. It can't be just the sex. And it has to be their aura. Sometimes you might love a way a person looks, but just the way they act, you can't stay with them. And that's just, it has to be the other way around. You have to know how to build this experience with somebody else without doing something like that. If you feel like you're tempted every time you get around new people, then you are not the one for a relationship. And there's nothing wrong with that. The single life is beautiful in 2025. Don't let anybody lie to you or tell you any different. Single life is beautiful. The only reason why this hurt becomes part of it is if you have a kid involved or something outside of that, because that dynamic is now then broken. But if you're living the single life and you're doing what you do, look, there's nobody can tell you, because I find it more peaceful the less people you have in your life that don't understand you for who you are. But as the world is, this whole thing has been started from MySpace, and it's always about who has the most friends, this and that. But those aren't really friends. Yeah, we bust it up, but we know what that really feels like, having somebody to call on the phone when you're down, or even when you're up, you have somebody to surprise. So we know, and we have to stick to the realities of life. And the realities are, the older you get, you start cutting off people on the side that feel they don't bring any purpose to you. That's what life is about. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it is. And it's not going to be easy, because everybody wants to be like, I wouldn't say everybody, but there's a lot of people that's trying to be like everybody and trying to do this and trying to do that, not knowing that those people are not happy with the things that they're trying to do. God will set you out. Trust me, man. God will set you out. You just got to be truthful in whatever you do, and then speak good word to people, and it always will resonate. So when you say it's hard to beat white people, man, let me tell you something, man. It's hard to beat life. Tell you the truth. Some people look at life like a one-way trip. One-way trip, man. When you get that one-way ticket, But it's not like that. Life is in 360, and just because you might not be here in the flesh, your spirit will always live on forever. Once you get into that realm of thinking, you start to realize that your energy, your power is meaningful in whatever you do and whatever you leave back or whatever you go forward in doing. That's how I feel. I have some new designs. I want to put my energy into it. And if it's not to the T how I feel, and if it can translate with my peoples, then I keep doing it until I can get it to that point. I told you, if you really look at our culture and you look at other people's cultures, in the black culture, everything is starting to seem like a hobby, or it's like knockoff prices. And in other cultures, it's more lifting up, and that's the trust. Because once they've seen us not having trust within our own, then it makes it that much easier to just walk in and make destruction, or come, it's just, we gotta come to terms. 2025, we gotta start realizing what's this really all about. And I get it. I don't ever look back on that's why you can't be out here living with these types of regrets. That I've seen people like, are you mad that you didn't make it somewhere, or something that you had going that you thought had going and you didn't get it done? If that's the case, you have to start really carving your life out to what you really on this earth to be. Not everybody is put on this earth to be a rapper. You got to do better than that. Not saying that that's a bad thing, but all I'm saying is that you got to start realizing the things that entertain you might not be for you. There's so many other ways of being entertaining. You got to figure out and start realizing what you are good and what you bring to the table. Entertainment ain't for everybody, man. Trust me. Some people entertain their whole life away, and then they look back and they don't have no life. They don't even remember. It's all a blur. Entertainment moves very fast, and you're not really around people that really know you for you. So just knowing that type of life, you have to be ready and willing to do some things in entertainment. Don't think it's just like this easy walkthrough and you just get your star on the floor. That's not how it works. Sometimes what people claim is a regular life, that's the life made for you. That's one of the best lives ever to live. The happiness within that is what people long for. I'm telling you. Even if I'm not in the best of moods or the best of high energy, I always have little things I can revert back to, my peoples, that lets me know, you know what? Things gonna get better. If you don't have that type of energy about you and you're just on this reel or the hamster wheel and it's just spinning, your life is just in rotation. You're just trying to be like somebody else. I was always the type of person, when I see everybody going to Cancun, okay, I'll go to Miami. I don't want to be a part of the majority if I don't understand the majority, or the majority doesn't understand me for who I am. I can always carve out. I'm always good at forming conversation with people in places that I don't understand where I find myself at. I'm always good like that. I'm always good in these places. So I can always, if I want to, I can always, if when it came down to what people considered that was balling or whatever, they, maybe, what is it? Maybe nice car, drive to club, doing this, see the same people, the nightlife that's very dangerous, but around people you don't trust, women that don't love you, just people you can't trust. I felt like, man, that was an easy pick to get out of that type of life. I don't get it. All of that material stuff never served me as much as the type of person or the light that I shine for myself. It's not like I can't do this and can't do that or buy this and that, but it's just in these times, I mean, things ain't how it used to be. Things ain't how it used to be. I seen hold on. Get a little bit of my cranberry. Easy to block Cap and say you're gonna drop the battle with him and Suge. That's the first battle you're gonna drop. The man is thinking on the business mindset. He ain't worrying about what people think about him and Rem. He's not really worrying about that. And as far as Papoose, man, shouts out to Papoose. I always listen to Papoose freestyle. A good dude. I'll never say nothing bad on Pap because I always respected him as an MC, just taking the art seriously. It's just sometimes just things don't work out. But I feel like for Papoose, it did work out because he got a beautiful daughter out of it. And things happen, man. Things happen. Things just happen. I don't know. These times, people are more expecting the breakup than the damn relationship's working out. What else we got? I did see. That's right. Hold on. Yeah, I spoke to you guys on the J. When it comes to the J, I think they took a loss even going at you can't just pick a person out unless you got substantial evidence. Don't do that. Shouts out to Nina J. I'm always supporting her channel. Where was she at? Was she in the Bronx or Brooklyn? I'm gonna check that out after. Shouts out to Nina. Shouts out to Piper Boy. I was watching Piper Boy's live and whatnot. Funny dude. That's my guy. I don't know. Just you guys nowadays, make sure your energy and the people that you're around, they understand it. People be behind your back, they be hating. I grew up knowing that, I know how to identify all that nonsense. Where y'all tuning in from? Let me know. And drop a like and share this. I definitely need the likes. Y'all gotta like it up. Like it up. Like it up. Please like it up for your boy. On this Wednesday morning. After this, I'm gonna get me something to eat. On this cool out. Let me see. I'm just going through. I'm just trying to make sure I got everything out. Because sometimes I forget. I'm like, after, I'm like, damn, I should just. So I'm just making sure right now, before I get up out of here and get back in with my Dreams crew. Hold on, let me see. Oh. Okay, I could leave it on there. I could leave you guys on this note. When it comes down to content creating and all the content creators out there, if you're like a person that's trying to start your channel or you want to do something that's even similar, whatever you're trying to do to get your message across, I would say, stick to one platform. Don't jump around on a whole bunch of platforms because in a second, we're going to start realizing a lot of these platforms, they're not cool with each other. They're not, it's like, you can't be on both sides. You start to realize that you're going to find yourself content over here being lost here. Don't spread yourself all the way out like that. Stick to one thing, stand behind it. I'll support you, and my good peoples will. I'll try to get all our folks to follow you, and we'll just keep this circle going on and on and on. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in today, and you guys could leave with this. Friendship it means a lot, and make sure the people that you call friends really are that type of friend to you. It's always life is about the 50-50. You got to have some kind of balance within your friendships, okay? Don't have these people around just because they know you for years and they've been hating on you for years, talking behind your back, telling people bad things about you. Those are not your friends. Those are people that just want to see you down and they just want to keep an outlook on you. But when your light starts shining, you will start realizing they all disappear because all those stories that they told all those people, when they tune in, they start realizing all those stories they were talking about were themselves. So I love you guys, and I'll see you guys Friday. I really appreciate like and share this live. And let me see. Oh, Laricia, much love you. You always know that. All right. Queen, big queen love to all my people out there that love people and show love to people and don't hate on people. Man, shouts out to you. The world needs more of us. Peace.